I have a very real fear that the FM17 update that's just come out has broken the tactic that, give or take a half season here and there, we've been using pretty successfully for 12 seasons of this save. Just as we were about to get promoted to the Premier League, with, 6 or 7 games to go, it might be time to go back to the drawing board, or else the playoffs might not even happen at this rate. Hello and welcome to Season 12, Part 8 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Sunderland and at home against Barnsley, and the wheels have come off, everybody. We're 8 points off top of the league, still remarkably only 4 points off automatic promotion with 8 games to go. It's still doable, but the form we're in at the moment is looking increasingly unlikely. We've not won in 3 games. We've only scored 2 goals in that time, which is crazy for us. We've had 2 really boring 0-0 draws. And we've had the dreaded media messages about players not scoring, about Dixon, Taylor Crossdale and Yannicki. We can't score goals anymore. I think the update has broken my tactic, which I've been using for 2 years, because we used pretty much the same tactic in FM16 as well. This makes me sad. I hope it's just a coincidence. I hope it's just a blip. The games that I've played since the update are those 3. So there's every chance I'm overreacting. We've had poor runs of form like that before. Although you have to go back a long way to find them. There you go. Right back at the start of the season we had one. So we've had a run of form like that before. I'm worried. This is the team that we're playing today against Sunderland. We've got a few injury worries as well. Adam Jackson we're not particularly worried about. But if we get rid of all the youngsters, because we've just had the youth intake. So there's thousands of people knocking around down here. Adam Cato had a slight knock, but he's now fit again. So there's probably an argument we could include him today. But the big issue is the normal midfield 3. Mantum is just back from injury today. Fabrizio Fedri has been injured since he's been here and is now only just fit. And Joey Smith picked up a slight knock away on international duty. So it means our midfield 3 and our right back are not really as fit as we'd like them to be. And we're also struggling with match fitness in other positions. We've not played for a couple of weeks because of the international break. And it's all a little bit thrown together. But this is our 11. Elvis Kabashi's in goal. A back 4 of Smith, Bajrami, Jordan and Davidson, with Smith, Fedri and Mantum in midfield. That is the first time this midfield 3 will ever play together. Hartley then in behind Parkinson and Taylor Crossdale. Rowdy King and Keith Shorthouse both dropping down to the bench because neither of them are creating anything. I don't really know what we're supposed to be doing. We're not scoring goals, so I'm chopping and changing everything. So we're trying a different combination up front. Joe Parkinson's the only goalkeeper, the only striker who's scoring goals, and we're not really creating anything from any of our options at attacking midfield either. So I think this is probably the first time this group of 11 players have ever played together. It might be the last time they ever played together. We'll see how they get on, but I don't know if it's that we're missing Sean Fisher. We've never quite been the same team since he left, and we brought in so many players at once. 3, 4 players came in January, so that could have upset the balance of things a little bit. It could just be that we're missing him. It could just be that we were massively overperforming and we were never going to stay at that level all season anyway. But Taylor Crossdale is in, and that's the sort of chance that Taylor Crossdale scores, and he's just not doing it. He's on a long run of games without a goal, but he's not the only one. All of our strikers are struggling for goals at the moment, which is why Taylor Crossdale's back in the team today. He's had the ball in the back of the net there, but it's with a handball. So he's getting closer. He's willing to be innovative and try different things. So, I don't care what he scores with. If the ref hadn't seen that, I'm quite happy for him to punch the ball into the back of the net. Davidson intercepts from the Sunderland goal kick, and it finds its way to Hartley. Smith in a little bit of space to Mantum. Cuts inside to Parkinson, which is not the ball I'd have played. I'd have put it out to Davidson at right back, but clearly, Mantum knew something I didn't. Put it to the only informed striker we've got, Joe Parkinson. Just give him the ball, and he stuck it into what appears to be the top corner, but I'm sure this 3-dimensional replay will clarify that situation for us. I mean, it was not the ball you would pick out. There was 4 players in better positions than Parkinson there, and it's not even the top corner. He's just thwacked it into a spot that their keeper's not managed to get to. We've gone 1-0 up. As it stands, still 4 points off automatic promotion. We are pretty much safe for the playoffs. I may have been a little over dramatic in the intro saying we might fall out of the playoffs. We're 12 points clear of 7th place. We'd have to do something spectacularly poor to not at least have a run out in the playoffs now. But for so long it looked like we might actually be in with a chance of automatic promotion, and that seems to be drifting away from us. A win today would go a long way towards starting to turn that situation around. Taylor Crossdale with a beautiful cross to Lee Hadley, who's back in the team today, starting his first game for... It might even be the first game. It's probably not the first game he started this season, but it's an awfully long time since he started a football match. Certainly since Rowdy King arrived, because he played pretty much every game. We then tried Shorthouse last game. That didn't work. So Hartley's now being tried, and it seems he is working. So King might have to wait a little bit longer to get back in the team, because Lee Hartley has come in and taken his chance. And Hartley's in again here. Can't quite nip past the last man, but we're 2-0 up with 25 minutes to go. And Hartley's involved in the attack again. Finds Manton, back to Hartley. Parkinson to Manton again. And Smith, we're knocking the ball around the way we always used to. Parkinson to Taylor Crossdale, and... I mean, anything he touched turns to rubbish at the moment. I think we need to get him off. He's not the player he once was. I might finally admit bringing him into Plymouth was a mistake. We'll bring on Tom Dixon, see what he can come up with. We'll stick Parkinson a little bit further forward. And have we got anyone we can bring on for Smith? We haven't. So Fedry is only just back from injury. So we're going to bring Caputa on for him, who can play as the central holding midfield player. He actually prefers to be an out-and-out defensive midfielder, so there's a chance we'll drop back and do the diamond again in a minute. We're definitely going to drop back and do the diamond, because Sunderland have one back with 20 minutes left to go, and that's a bit of a worry. So it's time for the diamond, everybody. Oh, we all love a diamond. I love a diamond. You lot didn't seem to rate it the last time I showed you it, but... If I refer you all back to Non-League to Legend last year, switching from the 4-3-1-2 to the Diamond with Ipswich is what turned us from being a mid-table Premier League team into a Champions League team. So there is merit in the Diamond, and that change I've just made there is literally all we did with Ipswich. We just grabbed hold of the middle player and dragged him back and put him in front of the back four, and it was like magic was happening. In fact, I think we might have made him an anchor man, which... I don't think I'm going to do, because that seems a little bit defensive for... I don't know, we did it with them. Perhaps that's what I should be doing. But, I don't want to. That seems really defensive. Parkinson finds Manton to Hartley. And Jordan intercepts. We're very light in midfield. Caputo, despite being a defensive midfielder on support, seems to be playing very deep. He's not even called Caputo, he's Caputa. And, Manton is shattered as well. We're going to bring Rowdy King on for him. He's comfortable playing as that roaming playmaker. Would he rather be an anchorman? He wouldn't. No, we'll keep him as that. Should we make him defensive? We shall not, because there was a big hole in front of him already. We don't want there to be an even bigger hole. We don't want him getting in the way of the back four. Do we? I hate thinking about tactics. It makes my brain ache. Is this what you lot have to go through every time you play this game? I can't imagine having to do it not on autopilot, and tactics are the bane of my life. And we've gone to a big club, we've attacked, we've gone in the lead, we've not changed things, we've kept attacking. Kev's moved a player, and we've still not been able to stem the tide. And we're going to go 4 games without a win now, unless something spectacular happens here. But to be honest, I feel like it's more likely that Sunderland go and grab a winner than us. Jordan finds Caputa. Can Dixon do something special? Of course he can't. But Hartley picks the ball up again, finds King, who just lumps it forward towards Dixon. Dixon has not looked with it at all since he's entered the fray. And King can't get to that. And it all got a little bit scrappy in the middle there. I mean, at any point pre-season, if you'd have said at some point in the season you'll go away to Sunderland and you'll get a draw, would have been over the moon. But can't help but be a little bit disappointed with what just happened. We need to win our next game if we've got any chance at all of automatic promotion. Right, couple of changes. Joe Parkinson typically has picked up a knock, so Dixon comes into the team for him, with Craig Holt taking his spot on the bench, and Grant comes back in at right back. Other than that, we're unchanged, because I'm getting negative and running out of ideas. Oh no, Kev's getting grumpy. It was all going so well for 2.5 seasons, and now Kev's getting grumpy. So ever since someone mentioned in the comments yesterday that the Liverpool job was available, and I realised I hadn't even looked at jobs for 2 seasons, and I think that's made me think, oh, maybe it's time to get a new job. And that's made me grumpy about the fact that we might not get into the Premier League this year. Martel Taylor Crossdale has just scored his first goal for 1,000 years. Let's be positive again. Taylor Crossdale's back. We're going to get promoted. We're going to be in the Champions League in 2 years. Plymouth are going to be playing their Champions League games at Wembley probably because this ground would be a little bit too small. See, I've not even learnt the name of the ground. Home Park? Is that Plymouth? Feels like that should be Plymouth. It is Home Park. There you go. We're only 3 points away from Burnley in that second automatic promotion spot at the moment. Rotherham look like running away with it, but Mantum's through here. Can he finish? He can! And with 18 minutes on the clock, we're 2-0 up again, because remember we were 2-0 up in the last game as well. So let's not get too carried away. But Barnsley were absolutely all over the place here. There's just a whole gang of them chasing after Mantum, and he just tucks it underneath the goalkeeper. It's 2-0. We're at home. Please let's not mess this one up. We haven't won a football match in 4 games. We started this game looking like our old selves again. So maybe we've figured out how to score goals again and maybe not concede just as many, if not more. That would be nice. Right, Taylor Crossdale going nowhere. Smith now finds Mantum to Hartley, out to Grant. I feel like I need to get Rowdy King involved in the game. We haven't seen enough of him today. Lee Hartley can hear me. Doesn't want Rowdy King anywhere near the pitch ever again, and is just going to keep doing things like that every time I suggest it, apparently. What a goal. I mean, that, for those of you wondering, that's why the star signing of the transfer window is not in the team, because Lee Hartley's back. He's been away for like a year. He only ever had a good 6 months in that promotion season, but it seems he's decided to have another good 6 months, which would be nice because he's only like 3 weeks into it. So if it's going to last 6 months, that'll be ace. That'll take us part way towards our Premier League title campaign. Right, Fedri's going to come off and we're going to bring on Caputa again. And shall we bring off Smith and bring on Rowdy King? I feel like we need to get him some game time somehow. Stick Mantum over there as box-to-box. King can be the roaming playmaker. And no, we're not going to go to the diamond today because it didn't do us any good against Sunderland. So we'll stay with the midfield 3, even though it doesn't really suit Caputa because he wants to be sat in front of that back 4. That's his natural position, but I just don't see a way that we can let him do it. Corey Jordan can have a well-earned rest, and we get to see Joel Bazan for the first time since the January transfer window. Probably unfairly that he was dropped like a stone when we brought in Grant and Bajrami, but he's only here on loan. We probably won't have him next year. We had to build our own team, but he didn't let us down in that first part of the season. Hartley's in and has scored another absolute beauty. It's 4-0. It's Lee Hartley's 10th goal of the season. And where on earth has this form come from? This is insane. Dixon slots it through to Hartley. Hartley does not even look at the goal. He does not take his eye off the ball there until the ball leaves his foot, at which point he carries on staring at his foot because he knows it's in the back of the net. He didn't even look at the goal, but then ran off celebrating. That's how confident he was. It was the perfect strike. And, God, let's get the lad a hat-trick. It'd be awesome. Right, the Caputa down to King. King can't play back there. We need to get him in front of the... Back in behind the strikers again. But how can we? We've got one of those selection problems that managers like to have. So we can't get him back in the team. And, I thought we were going to concede our customary goal there. But it looks like we've managed to keep it out. Where are Barnsley in the league, actually? Nowhere impressive by the looks of that. I think I have to scroll to find them. So it's not that exciting that we've won 4-0. But it does mean we're only 3 points off of automatic promotion again. So we have actually improved our promotion chances over the course of this episode. With 6 games to go, we only have to make up 3 points. We could still do this, everybody. We've recovered and sorted ourselves out from worse positions than this before. Hang on, a goalkeeper injury. Stubbed finger one day. I think we'll be all right. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.